Ethan, happy birthday, Ethan. Love your dad, Jim, and best friends Josh, Flam, and Gator. Good luck on the upcoming corn harvest and enjoy.
Okay, I don't dislike Ralph, but I'm at a place, and I'm not being ironic, where I think it may be time to sacrifice Ralph to the corn. We have to sacrifice Ethan Ralph, to the gods, so that the corn will be a bountiful harvest this year.
Josh, he's the owner of Kiwi Farms. He said, I need to be sacrificed so that we may have a good harvest. You will be harvested long before me, sir.
There are a couple super chats. I don't know if you know this, but I am shooting for Grifting Champion, so I have to make sure and keep on top of these.
You already won that. Yeah. Well, you already won that. I voted for you. Just so you know.
It's still my heart. You get me? Wait, I thought I still had to defeat Ralph. So I know I.
Oh, do you have to? Or you still have a heads up?
Because I beat Dick. I thought it was
Dick was the fun. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dick was in the semis.
Okay, I'll vote for you against Ralph.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I am. I think it's on hold because of recent weird events that I don't know if we're going to discuss them or not. But I haven't seen the new bracket go up or with the finals challenge yet. But I am gunning for it. So.
Yeah, you're an easy win over Ralph. I think. I'll just say that.
There we go. Fac Uniga says, Null, your friends, Mundane Matt, Kraut, PPP, and Godwinson all have said repeatedly that Ralph is a p. What's your position? Revised to find a spelling that would send. Apparently.
Do I think Ralph is a p? Oh, no, yeah. I don't. I think he likes young girls like 18 because they're naive. I've said this before. He likes naive girls, and they dump him once they become less naive. Sure. I've said that before. I do not think he's a well, and I don't appreciate people who just kind of throw that out there.
Yeah, I know. Because you are not a fan of people slinging the around. Like that is not. That's something you made very clear.
My rule is that. Yeah, if I don't think I them and like feel comfy about it. I can't. I have to be so convinced of it that I could do that. Otherwise, it's unnecessary.
Matthew Neidig says, "What's up, Nick? Not long time no see. Hey, what's up, man? And hello, Null. Glad you're doing better. Are you doing better?
Hi, thank you." Oh yeah, I made a joke about like the whole sacrificing Ralph to the harvest thing, but as soon as he started having like a tantrum spiral, like almost everything I had been worrying about for like 6 to 3 months, a long time, kind of just resolves immediately. Like all the problems just kind of fix themselves in a single week. So I'm very thankful for Ralph's selflessness in this matter because it definitely worked.
It was very polite of him.
I was on a train yesterday, and I swear to God, there was a lot of corn, a lot of corn, just miles of corn. I'm like, someone messaged me saying that they were from some Midwestern flyover state, and the corn was great this year. I'm not even making that up. People have emailed me saying that I am in agriculture, and the corn harvest this year was phenomenal. And then when I'm driving around, I see all this corn. I'm thinking, what a silly world. What a silly world and a silly timeline. So I guess that's my monkey brain detecting patterns, right? Let's say there's a corn harvest, things go well, and then there's lots of corn. The monkey brain starts putting that together. Ralph, I'll leave that up to Vickers and Godwinson and PPP. All I know with them right now is that the father of Ralph's girlfriend has like declared fatwa on Ralph and has built an entire website. I think it's like aborttheretort.com. And he's just outlining like every transgression that Ralph has ever committed And Ralph put out like a video of Faith reading a script about how she's totally happy and shit. And it reads, someone left a very memorable comment on the forum about how when they were in Iraq, they've seen forced testimony with more conviction being read. And I thought that was a pretty eloquent way of saying that. But
I've tried my best not to respond to the attacks from my father and mother over the past few weeks. My main focus has been on my relationship and my recovery. That will continue to be the case. However, due to their recent unethical and arguably illegal activities, I've decided it was necessary to set.
I'm not following that too much anymore. I really was done with it when I said I was done with it, but by osmosis, by existing, I'm forced to hear more about Ralph. So, Ethan Ralph's girlfriend's father has made a website called aborttheretort.com, which is just going to be his potential father-in-law's takedown of him. I don't know if you haven't heard of this, go check it out. I guess I'll hopefully archive it so that we can look at it for posterity in the future. But this is how he's chosen to spend his time. I guess it is pretty funny. He wants to sell Abort the Retort merchandise and everything. I don't know if he's literally just trying to profit off the fact that his daughter is or what, but I've never seen anything quite like it. We've seen a lot of lol cows. I've never seen like a generational lol cow, or like a father is also like an online attention whore, and also so is his daughter. Crazy fucking world we live in, and he's totally verified it. There's no doubt to anyone that that's actually him. It's not like a ruse cruise. He's posted pictures of himself with a mask saying abort the retort on it. He's posted pictures of his concealed carry permit and all this shit. Definitely him. Definitely his motives. Pure Kino. Exactly. Okay, I see a lot of gunt. Okay, just a little bit, because it doesn't take much to make Ralph angry when I talk about him. So, just a teensy tiny bit of making fun of Ralph, and we'll move on to the art critique. So, really, I mean, from what I understand, there's protests going on in front. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ralph is near both. He's in Virginia, so he's close to both DC and the capital of Virginia. I think this is a protest that was happening at the State House of Virginia, and Alex Jones happened to be there, and Frank Castle happened to be there, and he was there not with his baby mama. She was up in a hotel somewhere, I think. He was there with Pantsu Party, who was Digibro's ex now, and so here he is at pretty fun, I guess, hanging out in real life with all the people who you can bump elbows with, get clout with, make friends with, have them watch your stream when they go home. And what do you think? What do you think is on Ralph's mind as he's in the real world, surrounded by things that actually matter? What do you think Ralph is upset about? Joshy's Milky is. Why would you say that? Why is that the first answer? That's horrific. But yes.
Also, shout out to notorious Josh Moon, owner of the Kiwi Farms. You're missed here, buddy. You fucking hermit loser.
07s for Kiwi Farms. Yeah, let me get some Romans in chat.
Man, you know how good I am in crowd right now?
Are you serious?
Don't do it. Of course he's good.
Yo.
Everybody.
In a crowd of people
Chat like that
in
one?
real life.
He's probably in some shitty third world hostel right now, getting taken advantage of. It's a shame, Chad. It really is a shame. He can't help it. He was born f***ed up.
He's in public ranting about me. I don't even know how I feel about that. That's kind of weird. I made a comment a while ago after Jim did a stream about Brian Dunn, because I had a realization that Brian Dunn was probably excited by me when I made fun of him. And I had that realization, and I thought, I'm going to keep that realization to myself. I don't need to say this on the internet and have people know that I helped Brian Dunn by bullying him on the internet. And then Medicare paused the stream and spoke directly to me and said, you probably made Brian Dunn by making fun of him on the internet. And there are 25,000 people watching. And that was really weird. But this is also very weird. This is very weird in its own and different way, where it's so this man is in public, surrounded by people who do not know who I am and do not care, and he's yelling about me like a lunatic for points from his chat. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's very surreal. It's a kind of thing. It's a type of feeling that I don't think many people get to experience in their life. And it's a different, you can't, people can't relate to that. And it is its own thing. It's not upsetting. It's just weird. And I don't know how I feel about it. And I don't know how I should feel about it because it is so bizarre. And I feel like that a lot these days. I feel like, there's probably a finite number, a very small pool of people in the world who have just had the experience that I have had. And it's very alienating. It makes you feel different from people because you're that's kind of fucking weird. But yeah, there's that, and this is also funny. I'll just play this. Thank you to whoever archived this on the forum, by the way, because otherwise it got deleted off Twitter, and otherwise I would not have it offhand.
Mr.
Yes,
Jones.
that is Alex Jones.
Killstream says hello, sir. Good to see you. Thank you, man.
You guys are awesome being out here. Thank you, Alex! Thank you.
There we go, Chad. I think we capped off the day pretty well.
Ethan! Come here, Ethan! Come here!
Can I get one right behind you?
And I think that's it. He goes up to Alex and says, the kill stream says hello. And he's like, thank you, brother. You're awesome. And then he says, oh, thank you guys for coming out, talking to other people. And he put that up on Twitter, look at Alex Jones likes me and likes my stream. He probably watches it every day. And I don't know. He's someone who is entirely driven by ego. And he's very easy to please. You just have to say nice things. You don't even have to actually compliment him in any way. You just have to say nice things, and he is set off by it. And if you say anything negative about him, he'll remember you for the rest of his life. I got this off T-Clips. I need to briefly touch on this because Ralph yesterday, or the day before, I don't remember. Time is blurring together for me. Ralph made a tweet saying he would dox any Antifa person on Twitter, which is just stupid. Doxing is the only rule enforced, hard enforced by every social media and company that he relies on for business. So why he would say that is fucking beyond me. He's really, really trying. I don't know how he hasn't been penalized by Twitter already. Maybe he's just not significant enough for Twitter to even fucking ordain to notice him. But saying shit like that, I mean, it's going to get him in trouble. But then this happened, and I thought this was just amazing because there was already kind of the sense that he was f***ing around with Pantsu Party, who is the con ex-girlfriend of Digibro, who turned Digibro into a and now I can't even just hypothesize that they're f***ing around. Look at this.
Look! Holy crap! Did you see that? They were holding hands, dude. Busted! Busted! Ace Pass? Yeah, my man. I can't believe you noticed that. Damn. Oh, and immediately when the camera got pointed, he was like, oh, we can't touch hands anymore. They're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it so poorly, dude. And there you have to start.
It's so true though. It's like it's not even like, and obviously it only gets captured because someone else is using the camera, and he doesn't realize that he's on camera. But then the second he does,
Oh, look.
he breaks the hand immediately, like awkwardly, and like scratches his face nervously, which is a nervous tick that a lot of people do. And it's like, I'm trying to think, like, okay, I don't like to speculate wildly and just assume the worst and hope it's true, right? Because he has a pregnant girlfriend and there's now a child involved in this. So let's be a little bit tactful. But I'm sitting here and I'm legit thinking, when would it be appropriate for a man with a girlfriend to hold another woman's hand? And I'm thinking, like, okay, like best case scenario, I think the only appropriate time would be like you're in an airport and you're trying to like guide them through a crowd. You can grab them, but usually you would grab someone by the wrist or on the upper arm, or you would push them through a crowd to guide them. You wouldn't hold their hand. Holding hands is very sensual. It's a romantic thing. If you grab someone by the wrist or the upper arm, that's or like you can do here like this. Oh, let me not search this live. Here, if you're a true Chad, you can go for the Weinstein. This is the only appropriate way to deliver human cargo through a crowd without touching their palms like a degenerate. But really, I can't think of a single instance. Like, even if I was with my mom trying to navigate my mom through a crowd, I wouldn't hold her hand like a child. You can only do that with your girlfriend. You can't do that with anyone else, regardless of your relationship with them. So holding hands is basically having sex. It's worse. It's a sign of romance. It's a different kind of cheating, really. So I don't know. I want to see in chat. Do you guys think that what's her face, Faith, is still with him? Do you think she is like in Virginia, unawares or awares and just tolerating it or dealing with it? Press 1 for that. Press 2 if you think she's already f***ed off, because I have a fun theory about number 2. I want to wildly speculate recklessly with abandon and have a fun time with that after saying I would not do so. Lots of 2s. I think she's still with him. But if she has left, I have a fun theory for that. A long time ago, it came out during the height of all that shit with Faith that she had an ex-boyfriend who is like super big into and humiliation. He was like an extreme, like worse than Brian Dunn tier humiliation. And it became like a theory that Faith was only with Ethan Ralph because she wanted to humiliate this guy who very specifically did not like Ralph, like by name, did not like Ethan Ralph. So she went all the way out there to this guy, to Ralph, because she had a guy that she was with who had for being humiliated like that. And apparently she left without telling anyone that she was doing this. So that became the fringe weirdo conspiracy theory at the time, which was the most fun and interesting theory. But then she got pregnant. And Ralph is touching her leg right there. Top autists have analyzed this footage and determined that he had a hand on her leg, which is just totally inappropriate. Unless I can't name a single situation where that would be. Maybe if she's bleeding out of her femoral artery and you're putting pressure on it to stop the bleeding that would imminently kill her, then it's okay. I don't think that's what's happening there. She's smiling. I don't think she's bleeding out. So we can check that one off. I don't think that's what's happening. Riot medical help. Not even then. Okay. That's a hardline simple farmer. I guess you're like a Amish person. You can't, not even if she's dying on you, then you still can't touch her leg unless you're married. Says the Amish farmer. Anyways, so the theory was that she was with Ralph to turn on this guy who liked to be humiliated. But then she got pregnant. And then the whole thing with the father happened, where the father got online, and that was embarrassing for everyone involved. Even the father, who I still maintain, like, I was, like, on my own with this opinion that he was just a and the sole reason why that girl is so f***ed up to begin with. Apparently, I'm, like, on the sideline with that one. I don't know how the... Like, okay, just because he's f***ing with Ralph does not mean that he's a good guy. Like, f*** the kayfabe. I'm not supporting that guy. That guy's he's a mumbling head autist, spurred exactly like Ralph, which is why his daughter is chasing after someone like Ralph, because they're the exact same class of person. But anyways, that all happened, and the baby happened, and all the theories about the humiliation washed away. But now that this has happened, and they haven't even made the 9 months with the term without Ralph around, it makes me wonder, has she already left? And if she has left, is the actual humiliation bringing home Ethan Ralph's demon baby so that the Mexican guy with the humiliation can be the stepdad? Is that the extent of this man's humiliation? Is that what's actually... Is this the ultimate coom for this man to wake up one day as the stepfather for Ethan Ralph's child, and that be his life? If so, that would be amazing. It would all be worth it. It would be the funniest thing that would ever happen. It would probably be made into a History Channel documentary, because you can't write something that funny. It's a child of the corn, exactly. Born under a total eclipse of Saturn, so he doesn't have any emotions. A total psychopath. Second coming of the Antichrist, gonna take over the world. That would be hysterical. Let's all, you know, I dabble in the spiritual chat, and I believe in mind over matter to an extent, and I believe in meme magic just a little bit, where I think if enough people want something to be true, the fabric of time and space will warp around it to make it true. So please join me right now in materializing this fantasy, this amazing story, into actuality. Faith will go home, and the Mexican will raise the demon baby as a humiliation stepfather, and it will be the most fantastic thing that has ever happened in the course of human history. Come together, my friends. We'll spawn this. We will, as gods together, spawn this into being. Have my energy. All right, I'm seeing a lot of people giving me their energy, so we're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be great. That's that. A lot's happened with Ralph and shit, but you know we're running on time, so I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play this clip from the kill stream, and I'll leave it at that. I think it speaks for itself. Someone said that audio made their dog go fucking ape shit. That's what you get for listening on speakerphones, you idiot. Get a headset. What's wrong with you? I can't even... like, Ralph's shit is moving so fast now, I can't even imagine, like, what has happened since last stream. I think, actually, immediately after I finished my last stream last week, that's when he announced on Twitter that him and Faith had broken up. And that was, like, after my amazing theory about the Mexican raising the demon baby. Immediately after that, he announced that they had split apart. And he says it's super amicable, and he's going to be an active part in the baby's life, even though they're 3,500 miles away from each other. And then Vickers just starts we have to talk about Vickers, actually. Vickers starts unloading all this stupid shit on fucking Twitter about him, about how he apparently Faith and didn't buy her new shoes, so she's been walking around pregnant in her little brother's old shoes that were already tattered. Like that's so. I offered, by the way, to give her a little bit of Bitcoin to name the child Joshua or Nora, depending on the gender, and she turned me down. So I am thoroughly deprived of my enjoyment regarding the naming process. Maybe she just didn't want Bitcoin because she doesn't understand what it is, but still plans to name the baby Joshua Moon Jr., which is Joshua Demon Baby Moon Jr. It will be the full name. I didn't give her anything. I said that if the baby was born and she gave me a copy of its birth certificate and I had the name, I would send her, it was like 0.15 BTC, which is still a lot. And she said no. She said no, thank you. So I'm completely that hurts me more than the entire destruction of the potential destruction of my web zone. Is that it may not be named Joshua. So I'm in total disarray. Ralph has taken the big W. He's the biggest winner in the history of mankind. I'm over here eating the L's all day, every day. Completely destroyed over the fact that the demon baby will not be named Joshua, or probably won't be. She could change her mind. We could sweet talk her into this. Say no, it's actually a really great idea. It's the best idea ever. Or somebody suggested this, and I'm fond of it. Cornelius. It's a proper name, very educated sounding. Might get bullied in school, but once he's grown up and has his law degree, once he's a doctor, a lawyer, as I'm sure he's destined to be, Cornelius is a very honorific name, very posh, very upscale. People think, wow, this is a guy. This Cornelius Joshua Vickers is a real stand-up guy. I can trust him with my $10 million in investment capital. I think Mr. Cornelius Vickers will handle my case fund amicably. Corny. What else has happened with that, Frank? Because okay, I wish I had a clip of this. I'm always torn when I prep these. I'm like, I don't want to talk about Ralph that much because he's like an attention whore. But then when I start talking about it, I get excited because it's funny. And I want to talk about stuff, and then I don't have clips offhand because I dedicated myself to not doing it. But we have to talk about this chick because she is an attention. She's a massive attention, so I have to be careful. But what happened is Ralph went to this fucking rally with Pantsu Party, who, by the way, Vickers has revealed was the one who talked Faith out of pressing charges against Ralph for the revenge. So when she was alone with Ralph, the people she was surrounded with were also Ralph's friends who convinced her to not press charges on Ralph. So Ralph and the pedophile Pantsu Party, who hangs pictures of little girls on her wall where she sleeps, went to, I think, Phoenix to harass the fans of Nick Fuentes and meet Baked Alaska. And in the process of this, met this schizophrenic I2P chick, and who is literally, I don't even know what to... She is legit schizophrenic. She has wounds, and she talks to a stuffed animal called Frankie. And it turned out that while she was there with Ralph and with Baked Alaska and the other I2P people, she had actively neglected her animal, and her dog died while she was out trying to in Phoenix, Arizona. So that is the caliber of person that they've been hanging out. That he tried to replace a doctor med student with Faith, or not even Faith, but Aid, who was like an adult woman, age appropriate, someone who you could probably tolerate being around. And then he went to Faith, a 18-year-old woman, and then he went to Pantsu party, and then he went to a schizophrenic dog, and that is the. But it doesn't matter if it's young. It doesn't matter. I've been told by multiple people who are educated and women. So it's actually completely forgivable to do this, to try and f*** a dog while you're also hanging out with a on, while your pregnant 18-year-old ex-girlfriend is back home with her dad. That's all completely acceptable behavior, because as long as you're getting that's what matters, and that's what counts, and that's what's alpha Chad, Ralpha male. Oh, the dog is alive. Oh, thank God. She's not a dog. Who has the dog then? Was it like in an animal shelter? I want to know what happened to the dog now. The dog is alive. Animal control picked it up. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we have a happy ending here. She needs the dog still. She's gonna have Frankie. It's okay. Yeah, that's true. She can't be forgiven for neglecting the dog. The suck like weirdo internet celebrity. Oh, the SPCCA has him. Okay. Oh, I have to play this clip. This is the one thing from the Ralph stuff that I actually wanted to play for people. This, and it's not even for the reason that seems apparent. Like when I play it, you're gonna think, "Wow, that's silly." But there's actually a much funnier reason than the obvious one.
Should we? Stretch up, get limber.
Come on, Ralph.
Get your clipping tools ready, everybody. Hey.
It's actually pretty.
That's about as good as I can do.
So yes, that kick is very funny. Just by itself, look.
Come on, Ralph.
Get your clipping tools ready, everybody. Hey.
And this is the guy who's like, I'm gonna your ass, motherfucker. I'm gonna wrestle you in the ring. It's a PPP who is like twice his height and size at this point. It's actually my favorite part is this one right here. After the kick, okay, his legs down. Watch his stomach. Watch the stomach.
Actually pretty.
That's about as good as I can do.
Watch the stomach after the kick.
It's actually pretty.
That's about as good as I can do.
He walks like a pregnant woman. He walks like someone has put a joystick in front of you, and you are playing like a tank control game, and your job is to navigate a very inflexible pregnant woman through a maze. Just check one more time. And then at Rotaries, you're going to get like a 3D view of this. You're going to get like an IMAX 4D experience here.
It's actually pretty.
As it rotates around. And it's actually incredibly impressive. When I first saw this, like, okay, I get the kick was the funny part, but down, rotates. And like that is so much more. It's so big. It's massive. It is a incredible burden of girth that it's actually extremely remarkable. Even if you don't know who Ralph is, it's like that is a ridiculous body size for an adult human male to have. Thinking maybe there's two babies on the way. Maybe Faith got him knocked up too. And they're like, like when two girls get pregnant at the same time and they have to like go shopping for maternity clothes. It's like that's him and Ralph are at the maternity shop buying muumuus and stuff and nightgowns, but not new shoes. She doesn't get new shoes. Bitch got to get her own fucking shoes. He'll buy himself new shoes though. Impreg. Maybe Pantsu got him pregnant. Maybe it's not Faith. That would be tragic if the baby came out and it wasn't Faith's and it was Pantsu's instead. He would have some explaining to do, but at least Faith could get the male abortion and surrender paternity rights to Pantsu, who could then pay child support for the impreg baby. Talk about Vickers. I could. I really don't like Vickers. I can't even pretend to like Vickers. I know the kayfabe is to like be supportive of Faith's dad and be like, oh yes, Queen, slay, get him, Mr. Vickers. Slay the gun, Mr. Vickers. And I just can't. I see Vickers as an equal to Ralph. The only thing that Vickers really has over Ralph is that he has a relationship. He has a committed relationship. I don't think he's cheated on his wife. If he has, I don't know about it. But he's managed to raise a family and have a wife. And to his credit, that's a big accomplishment. But I think in every other way, he's identical to Ralph. He has this weird tendency to start talking about his wins when he's accumulated nothing but losses. He's bombastic. He doesn't think things through before he says them. He acts irrationally. He has a juvenile like personality, and he self-aggrandizes. And it's like, dude, you're just a fat fucking slob. You did something wrong. I'm sorry. I believe that a person is about 50% nature, 50% nurture. And whatever the fuck he did to Faith, it made her the kind of person who would develop an unhealthy relationship with a Mexican, fly across the entire country, get impregnated by Ethan fucking Ralph, a man twice her age, so that she can then later flee the state and go back home to give birth to a demon baby that you now have to take care of as a grandparent. Like, I'm sorry, there's not a single win there for Mr. Vickers. That is his own doing. I can't forgive him for being such a fucking failure. And the really amazing thing about him, and people are going to say this is why I don't like him, but it's not the only reason. If he just didn't want to talk to the forum, that's fine. That's probably smart, actually. But he denounced the forum as a whole, specifically because I said to him early on, before the tape leaked, I said, if this guy was smart, all he would do is leave the door open. Leave the door open and say, Faith, you are free to come home anytime you like. And if you do that, she probably will come around to coming home. But instead, he went out there and he's like, I'm going to register the guntretort.com and I'm going to write an expose, which is exactly like Ralph, by the way, to buy a domain name to try and SEO bomb someone and write shitty little exposés on people. That's exactly like Ralph. So Vickers goes the Ralph route of trying to bully Ralph into submission to surrender his daughter. And it doesn't work. The tape drops, she gets pregnant, she ends up in a fucking mental institution, and only after then does he decide, I'm not going to do this shit anymore, and he backs off, and he gives her a phone, an emergency phone line, and he tells her, if you ever want to come home, call me on this phone, and I'll come get you. And that's exactly what I told him to do, way before any serious life-altering fuck-ups happened, that ended up being what got her home. And of course, it's not like he took my advice. He did it unwittingly after he exhausted. It's like that quote, America can be trusted to do the right thing after it has exhausted all other options. After he had exhausted all good options, or all bad options, he finally did the right thing and did the sensible approach to try and get your disobedient teenage daughter to come home. So I can't look at him with anything else except utter fucking disdain. Here is a gross, slovenly, fat, pathetic dipshit, an emotional, irrational, hyperbolic man-child who just so happens to have children that he has somehow managed to not kill over their lifetime. Yet, he could still kill them at any time. I wouldn't put it past him because he's a fucking retard. And I'm supposed to look at him and think, that's our hero. That's our boy. He's gonna abort the retort. No, he's not. He's a fucking pathetic old man, and I have no good things to say about him. No, I'm talking about Vickers, not Ralph. I'm saying this is this man. This is him. I don't know. He's better than Ralph, huh? I mean, I think that if Vickers was born at the same time as Ralph, he'd probably end up doing something like streaming. He'd be like a quartering or something, talking about Star Wars or some other gay shit like that. Yeah, that's Vickers. I have nothing else to say about him. I wish him luck, I guess, but seeing as he can't help but go on Twitter and engage Ralph, I mean, that's the thing is people say, Josh, just be nice for a little bit. Just shut up and don't criticize him because he's dropping content on Twitter. And it's like, well, that's part of the reason why I'm criticizing him, is that I'm looking at this rationally. I'm saying this is not something that someone in his situation should be doing. He should not be gloating like he's won, like he's in a position of power here. I'm sorry. That baby should not fucking exist. It is a demon baby. And that's all Ralph cares about. Because now he thinks that I guarantee you, mark my fucking words. Mark these words, record them, clip this. When Ralph gets around with Gator and they sit down and say, Gator, I'm paying you $8 an hour. You're on the clock right now, even though we're not streaming. you're on. You can charge me overtime for even. I'll give you time and a half. We have to brainstorm how to cope with this. How to cope with the fact that Faith is left and the A-logs are on the up and up right now. What are we gonna do? And Gator's gonna say, look, here's our line. See, now you have a white woman, and now there is a white baby inside of her, which is based and red-pilled. But most people, when they breed a white woman and have based and white-pilled white children, or based and red-pilled white children, they then also have to raise the child, which is gay and soy-boyed and blue-pilled. So now it's the best of both worlds. You have a white baby and you don't have to take care of it. You don't have to change diapers, which is based in red pill. So this is the best, this is the most alpha male possible outcome of this is whenever anything happens, just remind them, like, I'm saving the white race by making white children, and I'm also not being a beta cuck by taking care of it. I am basically a winner in all possible regards. And that will be the line. It will be said unironically, and I will be right. And that doesn't bring me any joy, just so you know. I'm not saying this, oh, I love being right all the time. No, I'm saying that will be the line, and his audience will eat it. Take the menthol pill, exactly. With all the furries following Ralph, his persona will be the possum. That, I mean, I get what you're going for, because the possum eats trash, like the burger. But possums are also very cute, and when they eat bananas, they make cute sounds. And I don't think anything that Ralph does is cute. Ralph can be like a hairless cat. Those suck. But then again, cats are pretty clever. I'm not sure. A pig possum hybrid. But pigs are supposed to be smart too. I mean, I guess that pigs are historically like the least flattering animal, you know, but you sounded so Florida right now. What? Why am I? What? Because I said that possums are cute? Do they eat bananas? A raccoon. Pigs aren't smart. That is a cope, huh? I've always heard that pigs are smart. Oh, someone posted possums in my Discord chat. They're very adorable. Possums are wretched. Koalas are smooth-brained. What about a panda? I know someone who really hates pandas and says that they're stupid and they don't deserve to reproduce. There shouldn't be a team of Chinese scientists trying to get them to because they're such stupid animals. Because Ralph the panda. Well, I mean, he doesn't need any help to is the thing. He can put a demon baby in any disposable teen, which is the name of a Marilyn Manson song, actually. Before I leave, I need to stream with Jim. Well, I think Jim has died. I've been told this about 800 times this stream, that Jim is dead. Rest in peace. He's koofing with Jesus now as they smoke their Camel cigarettes together.